Howdy folks, welcome back for another Prepper Pig book review. I'm your host Prepper Pig, and today we're looking at On the Beach by Neville Shute. This was one of the first mainstream post-apocalyptic books out there, right up there with Alas Babylon. This is a book that tackles nothing short of the entire destruction of the human race. And ooh-wee! It gets nasty, y'all. Let's go. Before we get started,
I need you to do something for me.
please click the like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss out on any of the content that I'm putting out.
Well, wait. Where are you going?
I really appreciate it, and it really helps the page grow. Thanks. In this book, which was published in 1957, before the idea of nuclear winter, we have a nuclear war, World War III, that breaks out amongst all the northern hemisphere countries.
Prepare yourself for mutually assured destruction.
All right, ladies.
They are completely wiped out, but that radiation is slowly drifting southward. The last inhabitable city will be Melbourne, Australia.
Australia?
In the book, Neville Shute looks at the coping mechanisms that people and groups take when faced with their impending doom and the eradication of the human species.
We're gonna die. We're all gonna die. Take it hard, Daddy.
Some people are in complete denial about what's going on, and they continue as if nothing's gonna happen.
But I'm not in denial.
Some people turn to excessive drinking or drug use.
To the end of the world.
Other people go in for sex and orgies.
We're gonna get laid. We're gonna get laid.
Still others turn to the church and devote their lives anew in prayer and religious endeavors. However they deal with it, what's happening here in this story is people are having to face a world-changing and world-ending event.
So what's the plan then?
We're going to the Winchester.
The book calls on us to examine our own responses to change. Are we more likely to deny what's going on, bury our heads in the sand?
This is fine. This is totally fine.
Are we more likely to rail and try to go out in some blaze of glory?
End of days, bitches!
Everyone has to decide that on their own. But as a prepper, the thing that we can learn from this book is that there are going to be a lot of responses, but they fall into these several categories. Denial, coping through sex, coping through drugs, which is more of like disassociation.
Not here.
You're not here.
No.
Where are you?
One of the interesting things about this book is that it talks about the government response to this impending doom.
Don't trust your government, kids.
Which the Australian government basically gives everybody suicide pills.
They do that?
In the story, there's no mandate that people commit suicide, but it is preferable to radiation poisoning, slow death from cancer and other things. Like it's better for you and probably better for your children. So there's some pretty graphic depictions of people not only learning how to take the pills themselves, but how to like crush them up and put them into juice for their children. And in the end, people actually administering the suicide pills to one another.
That is wrong on so many levels.
I gotta say that I probably read this book way too early. I think that it was somewhere like the summer of 8th grade.
Because in America, everything's way too early.
And it is the only book, I can honestly say the only book to ever give me nightmares. When I remember reading this book, and even now thinking about it, I really get the sense of, like I pointed out in Watership Down, this like encroaching impending doom and not being able to escape.
Day of doom is here!
In Neville Shute, I guess you can track kind of the start of my anxiety in my childhood from this story of no matter what these people do or where they go,
We're all fucked.
that radiation is coming for them, and the signals from these more northern cities one by one go out.
Back to the ship, huh? Just huddle together until the lights burn out.
The book, again published in 1957, is a stark repudiation of nuclear weaponry as a viable means of warfare.
Shall we die together?
I think that's just as viable a message today as it was 60 years ago. Floyd C. Gale of Galaxy Science Fiction said, quote, "The book is an emotional wallop, and it should be mandatory reading for all professional diplomats and politicians." I 100% agree.
You can't read everything. I don't read half the stuff I'm supposed to.
As far as how I rate this book, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, on its writing, I give it an 8 out of 10. It is superbly written.
I like it a lot.
For its story, I give that a 9 out of 10. It is emotional and compelling storytelling.
I was overwhelmed with emotion.
And my last criteria is its use of veneer theory, which there basically isn't any. Veneer theory, you know, is the idea that underneath the surface, all human beings are basically savage. And that in disaster, we're going to revert to this kind of animalistic need to kill or be killed, conquer, and, hoard resources.
I need more.
There is no more.
None of that happens in real life, and none of that happens in this book. Yeah, people do kind of lose it at the end. Some people go kind of crazy and experience this impending doom in different ways, but overall, it isn't some Mad Max style story where everybody's out for themselves.
Kill or be killed.
It really is touching in how people comfort themselves, comfort one another, comfort their children, how they respond to one another. It's more realistic that way. Overall, this should definitely be on the bookshelf of every prepper.
Gotta read.
It is a fantastic look into the mental state of people who are experiencing disaster and calamitous change. Go pick it up. Thanks for tuning in. As always, love up on your people, take care of one another, and stay tuned for more from me, your friendly neighborhood prepper pig.
Take it hard, Daddy.